morning, TFR.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the planet. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
It is Tuesday, my dudes.
And a happy Tuesday to you all, and welcome to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. My name is Josh Corey, and I am joined this morning, you may have guessed it, by three good friends and co-hosts on the show, starting with Mr. Lucas King, LC King. They're on YouTube, Lucas. Happy Tuesday to you, sir.
Yes, it's Tuesday, my dude. I'm going well. It's cold, it's wet, and I've been pretty lazy today, and I loved every minute of it. So I hope everyone else is doing well, and we'll let you introduce the rest of the crew.
Right on. Let's say hello to Zachary Zabala, a.k.a. Good Times for All, here on YouTube. Zach, how you doing, sir?
Hey, Josh. Hey, Lucas. Hey, other guy out there we're not sure of yet. Not bad. Tooth is doing much better. Well, gums are doing much better. Finally got some rain around here. Plants are really... They've grown a bunch in the last few days. It's been a really... Like the last 2 days, rain all day long. It was like more rain than not rain. So this is rain. This is what I always called rain, you know. So, yeah, I can deal with this. But that we had like 3-4 weeks there where it pitter-pattered like twice.
Let's get at her.
And that's not cool. So, no, getting some rain, so I'm happy. Hopefully everybody else out there is getting the weather they desire.
Do Bob and Cammie collect rainwater?
No. No, we got the river.
Yeah? Yeah. Isn't your garden downhill a little bit from the house?
Yeah.
In the river, even downhill from the garden?
Yep.
I'm just thinking energy conservation here, Zach. Rather than trying to haul the water up from the river to the garden, how about collect it at the house and just let it flow to the garden?
Well, it would work as long as we had rain.
As if you get enough rain to fill it with a barrel. Yeah.
So yeah, if every week was like this last weekend and we had, good 2 days of rain every week, like kind of like it does in Indiana, that'd be great. I would collect rainwater all the time, but
so you need something better. Don't I remember seeing somebody, I think in Africa, using some like almost weird, cool sculpture shaped mesh or netting or something that would collect dew, and you could collect water from it. It would just basically pull it right up out the air. I'll have to.
Yeah, I've seen those too. They've had them in the desert, and they sort of just pick out just takes the moisture out of the air and puts it down into a little bucket or whatever. But they don't collect that much, I didn't think. But maybe because they had them in a desert. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say they would probably be really efficient there in the South, as humid as it always is. Seems like it wouldn't be that hard to pull some of that humidity up out the air. But what do I know?
No, I don't think it would
That's
be that
the
hard.
thing. I thought it was more humid down here, but I mean, when it rains, it's 100% humidity. But when it's not raining, and we go on those little, I mean, our high in humidity for some of the days was like 50%, and that's
not bad at all.
Yeah, that's not high humidity, is it? I don't know.
I don't think so.
See, because up there, I grew up around Lake Michigan, where it's always humid. You always got water in the air because you're by that big giant lake. So yeah, I was just talking with my mom about this yesterday, about the humidity from where I grew up to like every place I visited. They say they have humidity, but 50%, 60% isn't, that much compared to what I was used to seeing my whole life.
Hey, Walter, what does an August look like for you?
Yeah.
A wet blanket? A wet blanket. For sure. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing all right. It is definitely Tuesday. I got up way, way too early, and the coffee is definitely kicking in, but oh man, it may be wearing off already. It's one of those weird nights here, for sure. Strange energy since our little adventure we had there Sunday. But before we get into that, there's another dude who's been introducing all us folks. What are you all about, Mr. Joshua? How was your weekend, sir?
It was good. It was really quiet. It was just I don't know, it was a good time with Dixie. I don't think we turned the TV on once. We just sat and talked and bullshitted, and I don't know. It's just nice to be able to chill out and hang. David's birthday was good. He's 20. He's laid back. He's like I am. He doesn't really give a shit. But yeah, everything's been really copacetic around here. Work. Life is life. Girls are doing beautifully.
Nice.
Lots of flowers coming in. I think it'll be a decent little haul.
Nice. Very nice. You guys did get me excited about this water atmospheric drinking collector thing. So I went to look it up. Apparently it is pretty efficient. It actually can collect 25 gallons of clean drinking water per day. This is designed by a guy named Arturo Vittori, apparently. And
what is that, like in the rainforest? That's
no, it's out in the middle of
full.
Ethiopia, sir. It's Ethiopia.
Damn, and it's like super dry in Ethiopia.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. And the shape is really a very organic shape. It reminds me actually a lot of some of the images in the Secret History of the World early on when it was talking about the vegetable state of man. And yeah, these are really, I'm going to send you guys the link. I'll have some pictures of these things in our show description because they're pretty. Hang on one second. I'll share it in chats.
Don't they look like big vases or what?
Yeah, exactly. But there's also these like
25
it's just got a very organic shape.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's real efficient in Ethiopia.
Oh yeah, exactly. Let's see.
What's that in liters? I don't work in gallons. Like 3 times as much. 75 liters.
Somebody help this guy, please.
5 buckets, Lucas.
5 buckets. At first glance, the 30-foot tall vase-shaped towers, named after a fig tree native to Ethiopia, have a look and feel of a showy art installation, but every curve has a functional purpose, and then it talks about the shape and the material and how this wasn't the first time this material has been used in a attempt to collect fog harvesting. That's what they call it, actually, fog harvesting devices. But
what's the price range?
I don't see that yet. I was hoping they would give us an idea.
That's scary.
It may be further down. Hang on. And all it costs about $500 to set up a tower. That's 5 billion shillings or shekels, or I don't know what you guys use over there.
Schmeckles.
Schmeckles.
25 schmeckles.
It costs about $500 to set up a tower.
Oy vey.
So,
Shit.
That or a pair of big boobies, I guess. Yeah.
Or
That's
two
not
small
too
children to
complicated.
sacrifice, whatever.
Wait, less than a quarter of the cost to set up something like the Gates toilet. What the fuck? Oops, sorry. It's too early for cussing. What is that? Someone tell me about the
You don't
Gates
remember
toilet.
that?
I missed.
I
That's what
didn't
he
think
calls his
anything came
ex-wife.
about it.
Those cost about $2,200 to install, and they cost even more to maintain. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go look at the Gates.
The Gates toilet was the one they wanted to learn how to flush a toilet with less than a gallon of water.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking this was some kind of
Yeah,
harvest
it's easy.
water.
It's called a bucket, and you don't need much money for that.
Right. Step out behind a tree, asshole.
Dig a hole.
You just fill up
Yeah.
a 16-ounce Coke bottle and sink it down in the back of your tank, and it takes up the gap, and yeah, you're good. Come on, guys.
We used to use it.
Oh yeah, the Gates toilet. Okay, I was thinking it was a water catching device, not an actual toilet.
Well, I mean,
Chugga.
it's all a matter of perspective, Walt.
You're true, very true, sir.
Didn't they offer like $1 million to whoever could come up with this? They did this, gosh, it had to be like a decade ago. The Gates Foundation trying to get people to make a toilet that was more efficient because we were wasting so much clean water on flushing,
See,
you know.
And that sounds
We were
like a
wasting so much
conspiracy.
water he could go buy and sell back to us that he had to do something about that shit.
My buddies over at Nestle are making way too much privatizing water. How about we just take all these people and have them playing in their own shit? What you guys need to do? How about you build me a new toilet? That'll be fun, right? That'll be real fun. I got some pocket change laying around. If you guys succeed, I'll throw you some schmeckles, whatever, if you want.
That's great. Schmeckles.
Well, the way I do it here is, I drink the rainwater and flush the town water. So I tell us
It's the way to do it.
it's no good for drinking that,
Yeah,
corporate
that's usually
town water.
the best way to do it.
I recycle all of my gardening water because I use one of those dehumidifiers to make sure that they're pulling from the roots and getting all those nice, yummy nutrients that I paid for to make them nice and big. So then I just take out once it gets full, it shuts off. So I pull out the bucket, dump it into a gallon jug, add a little bit more nutrients, and pour it right back into the plants.
Nice.
Yeah. I get about 3/4. Well, hell, I don't know. It harvests over a gallon a day. It just shuts off. But the tank holds like 3/4 of a gallon. So more than enough to water the girls.
You should throw in a couple 2 liters with some magnets around it and just run your water through that before you put it back on your plants.
I definitely should. What the fuck? Why didn't you tell me any of this before, Zach? Garbage.
I know, I'm horrible. I need to make better gardening videos. All my gardening videos are caca.
That's just fertilizer, Zach.
I don't want to say kill, but I would be very excited if I could find horse manure that wasn't an arm and a leg down here. I don't know if...
How far are you guys from the NASA place there? I'm just...
Yeah, it's not like Indiana. Well, I'm assuming so many people, because I can't find free manure around here. In Indiana, you couldn't pay for manure up there. There was so much of it, people were just giving away for free. Where down here, I think people get it as soon as it's ready because of the lack of black soil, maybe.
As soon as it's ready, you mean like when it hits the ground?
Well, after it sits for, a little while and gets rained on, and because you don't want to put fresh poop on your stuff. You want to let it sit around for at least, I'd say minimum 6 months.
Damn it. I was trying to save water. Oh, well. So much for putting fresh poop on my plants.
Yeah, not fresh poop. That'll kill them. I forget what's in there that's so hot.
Well, I think it's the nitrogen.
Yeah, it'll burn your plants. It's got too much nitrogen in it.
Yeah.
Usually stuff that's been sitting for 2 years, oh man, I love it. It's like dirt. It's not even poop anymore. It's dirt. When I tell people, yeah, I'm going to pick up a load of manure, they're like, ew.
Not with my hands, jerk off.
But yeah, it's really not that bad, It's like, instead of black soil, it's like dark brown soil. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I actually even enjoy the smell now. Kind of like, it's one of those things I've put onto something that I really enjoy. So when I smell that smell, I'm thinking about gardening. Like when I smell a skunk driving down the road, another thought enters my mind. It's like, what is that lovely aroma?
Funny how your sense of smell can change like that.
Mm-hmm. Change your taste a little bit, and all of a sudden, sense of smell changes.
Well, I just noticed that our show title is still set from Sunday's little special that we threw together on June 6th at 6.
I could have sworn awesome, I updated the titles.
You did? If you did, I didn't see it. Sorry. Mine may be
a little wonky because I think I had the same issue with those titles, I think.
Yeah, that's fine. Just noticed it. But it reminded me that we were going to talk about it, and we got sidetracked with poop and other poop.
Again. Jeez, we're always doing
that. Yeah, we do that. But yeah, it was really great. I appreciate all you guys who did come and hang out with us there, and everyone who wasn't in chat but were doing the work. It definitely was felt here, and had a very peaceful Sunday for sure at my home here, and chilled. And then yesterday did my chiropractic, and it was very nice, very relaxing, lots of deep adjustments. So I appreciate the energy, everyone, and I'm hoping and know we definitely have accomplished this thing already. It's just we got to convince those other assholes of it.
Well, that's just it. I've been thinking about this since we did that. We have. It's done. I mean,
yep.
They have been called out, Their hand was in the cookie jar. This is that cookie jar that, you can't hide. It's out. We know that you lied. All these people are catching on to it now. There is no putting this genie back in the bottle. They know this. It's the sheep now that need to catch on. Like I said, once it's cool to be a flat earther, this is going to explode exponentially.
Right, you're all so in my head, Zach.
Yeah, there are so many.
It is cool to be a flat earther.
Yeah, but they don't know that yet.
Yeah, they don't.
That's true.
Yet.
They still think they're.
I'm just staring, man.
Think it's cool. As soon as they think it's cool, you know how many people out there that know the Earth is flat that have never said it to another person? I bet more than there are flat earthers out there. I would almost. Man, I would bet, and I don't bet. But I bet there's more people out there that don't talk about it, have never spoken about it, and know.
Or perhaps they spoke about it just the one time with that one person they trusted, got the typical reaction, and we're not stupid enough to keep beating their head against the wall like we like to do quite often. So yeah, they just gave in after that first cog disc, threw them for a loop.
Yeah, well, there'd be plenty of people just still on the little journey, as it were, and still learning the ins and outs of what to say and stuff like that. So, I don't even know what to say half the time. It's pretty easy though, isn't it? Water's flat.
Yep.
Lowest level.
What
is that? Sort of that confidence, once you get that confidence, that you sort of like, it sort of comes in yourself. I think it grows within yourself. But
and it just becomes knowledge rather than belief, I guess, is a better way to, or it's how it feels anyway. But our buddy Alan Holman in chat, who used to give us a little every now and again, a little reminder that we tend to forget we're a flat earth show, in chat saying earth is flat. It's old news to me. That's what's up, Alan. Absolutely, sir. I think we all got there. Absolutely. Well, I know certainly it's just become an integrated part of who I am. It's not necessarily just shouting on the rooftops like it used to be, I guess, or at least what we hoped it would be. So, and it's always
think flat Earth is cool. You wait till they work out there's free energy everywhere,
right? Or water that they can just suck out of the atmosphere.
Where do they get a load of the galvanic cell?
Yeah.
Right. Who was I telling about that this weekend? Oh, on Twitter, someone had some pictures of lightning either going into or coming out of volcanoes. And I said, that's an interesting little thing that might very well tie into this whole galvanic cell Earth. I've been reaching out to a couple of people on Twitter that are very active, very outspoken, covering a lot of ground. So as soon as I get some positive feedback, we'll definitely hopefully have them in here. I just don't want to jinx anything yet.
Well, in a chat, I think it was in Jeronism's chat, and there was a guy there, and he said, I've been showing you videos to my son who's studying electrical engineering. So that's good to hear too.
Yeah,
you never know what comes out of that sort of stuff.
A new mind.
The people we got to reach.
Right, exactly. A new mind that's about to jump into the pool of brainwashing, and here's what you have to say. It's going in armed with that is awesome.
Yeah, but they might be able to just look at, even when they're doing their work, they go, oh, well, that's the positive. This relates to the sun, and automatically it's easier to integrate because you're working sort of with those 4 elements or 5 elements, and you've got something to in the real world to actually bounce it against. You know what I mean? It's not some sort of, you know what I'm saying? Badly.
Yeah, theoretical object like dark matter.
Yeah. Well,
that reminds me.
Direct relationship that way. You go.
No. When you said dark matter, it reminded me. I was gifted. Michelle likes to go hit garage sales quite early there on the weekends before I ever am even thinking about waking up. So she found an interesting old amazing facts type book from like 1976. And I don't want to misquote it. I'm going to go grab it on the break that we're fastly running into here and read off a few things, just some ideas they had. Oh, just a few short years ago, 1976. Well, after we had been, to the moon and explored space at some length at that point, I would think. But yeah, a couple of interesting tidbits that seem a little different than what we're being told these days. It's really great. So let me go dig that up on the break. Yeah, actually, right around the corner.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm just checking the clock. Sorry. Go ahead.
Real quick. We'll have to talk about this when we get back. Russia is talking about cutting ties with the U.S. and building their own international space station.
I thought they were pulling out of the space station and going to leave a big gap, is what I read on a headline of a story. I didn't completely dig into. So I guess I better look at that, huh?
Yeah, as of yesterday, because the U.S. has put sanctions on Russia's, we'll just call them Russia's Lockheed Martin company. They build rockets for Russia, blah, blah, blah. They do like Russia's JPL, more like. Well, now the U.S. has put sanctions on them So Russia is saying, if you don't lift these sanctions immediately, we're going to build our own international space station. So I think every country is going to just have their own space station now. That's going to be the new thing.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah, I want to see the
I need
video.
those. I want those glasses to pop on while I say it.
Yeah,
Dave Wise style.
Cool story, bro. Oh, that's awesome.
It cracks me out when he does it.
Well, I do believe
Well,
that's
I
going
don't
to bring
hear
it.
break music, but we are fastly running into it, guys. So stay tuned right here. You're listening to the Ironworks on Truth Frequency Radio. Break clear the fear. Right here.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. By Christine, great for heart palpitations. By Anne, before I started using this product, every afternoon my ankles and my hands would be swollen. That doesn't happen anymore. So if that part of their advertising is true, I have to assume that the rest of it is also. Not to mention that when I had my yearly blood test, only a few weeks after beginning to use this product, my cholesterol had dropped over 30 points. I'm going to continue to take it. By Croc, I love this product. It really works. By Brad, works great, thank you. Tell us your story. Get your Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death. This is Uncle Walt from the Ironworks. Josh, Corey, and I have chosen to look at life with no fear. No fear of the unknown. No fear of questions about the supposedly well-known. No fear of ridicule for thinking outside the familiar fool's lines. No fear of the boot on the neck of those refusing the party line. No fear of taking on those so convinced of their beliefs they would sooner drink the Kool-Aid than believe they've been fools made. In this world filled with me too, cattle think, can truth's protective layers be peeled back to show the tender, juicy pink? Are we all just grist for the mill? Souls sold against our will, or is that just how it feels? When you're filled to the rim with triviality so fear-filled and grim, break clear of the fear right here. Tuesdays and Fridays at 2 a.m. on TFR. Josh and I and you will hammer out the impurities of technology-driven groupthink, fold in a dash of logic, and quench it all with a bit of absurdity. The Ironworks. Break clear of the fear.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
No hate, no hype, no fear. Real people, real radio.
Start your day off bright and shiny. Get up off your little hiney and begin your happy day. Time to make the donut.
Cough,
welcome back to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, simulcasting D-Live, Odyssey, Facebook too, maybe Twitch too, maybe. I don't know. There's a couple other places, but for right now, those are some of the big ones. And then, of course, here on YouTube on the Iron Realm Media channel. Josh, Walt, Zach, Lucas hanging out with you this morning. And happy morning to you all.
Indeed, indeed. Indeed, indeed. So, has anyone here, or perhaps in the chat, heard of Hermes?
Oh, yeah, the gift that keeps on giving.
I'm going to give you more context. 1937, an object that at the time they were calling, well, let me make sure I'm not misquoting here. This book is called Strange Stories and Amazing Facts. It was published in 1976.
It's Hermes Simplex A, I think.
Sir?
That's Hermes Simplex A, I think.
It could be, sir. That very well could be. So apparently in 1937, a planet named Hermes, a planet named Hermes passed between the Earth and the Moon. I'm reading here in this lovely little book about our world of science and space at the first chapters of the little book. 1937.
That's supposed to be science-based, or is this?
Oh no, this is all real stuff. This is all talking about redshift, blue shift, the Big Bang versus the steady state universe, which was still a possible explanation for our universe in 1976 in this book.
I've never even heard of the solid state universe.
That's all I knew growing up, dude, was steady state. When I saw that first image of the sun being like going through the system and the planets and shit twirling around behind it in that vortex, I'm like, holy shit, that's what they say is going on? I thought it was a steady state all the time, not, before the Big Bang. So, but apparently in 1937, now this is some time before we had developed NASA and, Hubble's and Sophia's and such things. We had not gone to the moon.
Cameras. We didn't have cameras in 37. We didn't have artist renditions back then. Man, it was way back then.
CGI, yeah. But yeah, so October 30th, interestingly enough, a beginning of us getting special little space events for our holidays, perhaps. Anyway, yeah, October 30th, 1937, it's called a minor planet. Is what it's called in this book. Hermes weighed about 500,000 tons. I can't convert that to SHMECKLES. Passed within the orbit of the moon between Earth and the moon. So now, since that time, we've come up with a few little things that have changed, correct? Like number one, the little small fact that the moon now exists within the Earth's atmosphere. So if an object called a minor planet passed...
Time out.
Oh, go.
How far away did they say the moon was back then? Was it
That's not actually in this little story.
Okay.
It's not in this little segment. I'm trying to find it in another part where they start talking about the actual moon, but it gets more into
Hermes is another name for Mercury, I thought. But...
Is it? I was wondering about that kind of thing. How that tied into what else it might have been called. So I did a little research this morning because I read this late last night. So now, sorry, I'm reaching over for my phone here. So now this object, old Hermes, is called 69230 Hermes. It's a sub-kilometer sized asteroid and a binary system on an eccentric orbit classified as a potentially hazardous near-Earth object of the Apollo group. Now, they say it passed Earth at approximately twice the distance of the moon, 30th October 1937. So why in this book in 76 did they say it passed between? And on this site I'm reading here, which is, is it Wikipedia? No, it's Science. Oh, it's NASA. It says that a asteroid, not a minor planet, an asteroid now. Now, I know we've changed designations. I get all that. But it just seems a very strange story to have probably terrified people with in 37 of, yeah, there's something passing between us and the moon. Grab your butt. And what we're told now, oh, just a minor thing. It passed outside the moon. So, yeah, stories definitely switch. And I'm just trying to find the size again here. As far as the weight or whatever, that other one said 500,000 tons. This one doesn't give a weight, just a size. Just meters.
Even a paintbrush artist. If paintbrush artists had been around in 37, they could have painted us a picture of what that looked like. If only somebody had known how to draw in 1937 to be able to say, this is what it looked like when Hermes passed between us and the moon.
Here we go. In 2003, asteroid, blah, 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 whatever they call it with these numbers, has been found after eluding astronomers for 66 years. Wait, 37 plus 66. Okay, so after eluding astronomers.
It's 33 twice, Walt. Come on.
66 years. They finally have found the long lost asteroid Hermes. It's finally been found out amongst the whatever. Now this story is telling us that it was originally discovered by Karl Reinmuth at Heidelberg, Germany on October 28th and tracked for only 5 days. So he found it on the 28th. It almost killed us on the 30th, and they lost it a few days later and lost it for 66 years. Go science.
Cheese and rice.
Yeah, I'm
So
just getting
decent
lost
at
in
tracking
it.
things then.
Except for that space trash that apparently wrecks robot arms on the space station. They can't track that. But this thing at, whatever millions and quadrillions. Unlike the situation in 1937 when Hermes skimmed to within 800,000, man, this thing keeps getting further out. So in this story, we're told in 2003 that it skimmed to within 800,000 kilometers. Oh, I'm sorry. Fix that for me, Lucas, if you would convert that back to miles for me, please.
No, I only know shekels.
It's like 8 buckets.
That's what they do. That's why they keep giving us these. Some of it's in meters, and some of it's in what, cubits, and some of it's in, oh my God, science for sure.
Qubits. I don't think many people use qubits anymore.
Qubits and SHMECKLES, baby. Qubits and SHMECKLES.
Science.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of trouble finding anything about the supposed distance to the moon. Yeah, everything the Greeks said it was 240,000 miles away. That's what they figured.
Sure they did.
Yeah.
That was probably in qubits.
No doubt.
Well, yeah, and when they say miles,
They actually talk about. Hold on. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, the Egyptian mile is 8/7 of a mile. So when they say miles and they're talking about things that were done that long ago, it's not the same number. A mile has changed.
Here we go.
I've talked about this a fair bit with the measuring systems and things like that. Well, there is a bunch of sort of these harmonic numbers that are associated with distances and how wide the planet is and things like that. So I was thinking maybe they just change the scales. Keep the numbers the same, just change the scales, and you all of a sudden you're coming up with something that may be in the ballpark or going closer to that older system again. Maybe. Don't know.
Well, interestingly enough, in this same book, they discussed the trying to find a little part here. What is his name? Aristarchus, who was in the, the date is right here.
Aristarchus.
He lived from 310 to 230 BC, and his theory of the fact that the Earth was not the center of the world just broke everybody's brain at the time. Now, I'm trying to find the next part. There it is. Okay, so Pythagoras threw forth the idea. It just reiterates the whole story that we've heard and told each other so many times about how when they first said that the Earth was a ball flying through frickin' space, these people were ridiculed, joked out of everything. Some were actually condemned by the Pope, etc. Now, what broke my brain in this little story is they start talking about Tycho Brahe, who was an astronomer under Copernicus, I believe. Anyway, so
he was before Copernicus.
He was before Copernicus. I'm trying to skim this whole thing. There's a lot of information I'm getting through.
Copernicus
got rid of. Okay, so in this image they show of Tycho Brahe, he's got like 3 or 4 guys sitting there doing some math, and I'll include this picture in our show description, but I just want to show it to you guys. Can you by chance see that? Is he a giant? Is that what this picture's showing me? He's a fucking giant. Tycho Brahe
it definitely looks like it.
I mean, dude, what the hell? And it even talks about how he used a gigantic device to do his celestial measurements with. It wasn't a sextant. What was it? Yeah, this is some pretty crazy stuff. I just got this yesterday, or Sunday maybe.
What's the book again?
It's just an old Strange Stories and Amazing Facts. It's just like it goes everywhere. I can't wait to get to the back part, because so part 1 is like space, the body, science.
Do they
part
differentiate between the two in the book? Do they let you know which one is which when you're reading?
They kind of do. They'll say, now this is allegedly a story of history, and this is a story of legend, blah, blah, blah. Like there's part 3, strange customs and superstitions, legendary lands and beasts. Some of these were dismissed as travelers' tales, but were they true? And the pictures and stuff are all like the guys with chest faces, and just all the stuff we've been talking about is all in this book. It's pretty nuts. I'm excited. And it's thick.
Chessman.
It's thick. It's a lot. So I'm excited. I'll share more with you guys as I read into it. But yeah, I don't want to just sit here and read out of a book. It gets kind of boring.
All right.
Well, there's nothing boring about giants, I don't think.
Well, it's just crazy image. I'll see if I can find that image here.
Back to Aristarchus real quick. He discovered that the Earth went between the moon and cast a shadow on it during an eclipse, and he's the one who said that that's the Earth shadow on the moon, and the Earth needs to be about this big because the shadow is this big on the moon. Blah, 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 blah. The Earth is a ball. Okay, the Greeks are supposed to be the smartest people, right? Throughout history, they figured out all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. Did not 2 of them take fucking balls and put them up there and show that a shadow doesn't look like that when one sphere casts a shadow on another sphere? Did nobody even try it to say, hey, that's what we're actually seeing up there? So they're not really that smart according to his story and the way they did it. Because a child today could take 2 balls, put them up there and say, hey, why isn't that shadow a perfect like half circle like we see up in the sky? And then that would be the end of it. And they would say, oh, I guess that isn't the fucking Earth in between the moon and the sun. And it's ball shape casting a shadow on another ball. Because it wouldn't look like that.
Well, the thing is, this globe lie, is only 100 years old, so...
Yeah, but there's so many smart people today that believe, like Ken Wheeler just puts the Greeks on this high pedestal because they figured it all out and blah, 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 blah. And then you actually go through with a fine-tooth comb and look at the stuff and then put it through, somewhat of a scientific method, test it. It doesn't stand up. So all these super geniuses out there, still don't see through the deceptions. It's sad. It really is. Especially when there's so many people out there pointing these things out to them. It's like they just refuse to see it. I don't know. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to drop a link to this image for you guys. It's colored different than the one in the book, but it definitely gives you an idea of scale. Apparently, he was a giant and he had a giant dog. I don't know. Just, it's nuts.
All right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a video about it. I've been needing to make a video for a while now. I just haven't had that oomph, that drive to want to make. I hate video editing. I'll say it. I hate it. Can't stand it. But yeah, this one needs. I'm going to redo this one.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I've been wanting to do a bunch of different stuff, but haven't found. I don't know, just enough. Usually, I find a subject and it just like hits me, and I'm like, that's what I need to do. And it whips together real quick. It's got to be a bit of inspiration behind it, and a bit of like something exciting. And all I've got is these bits of research. Yeah, it's got bits of research that I've sort of just been, they don't feel complete in my mind, and it's, I feel like I'm expected to actually, do something at least every now and again, keep a channel going. But you gotta, I want to feel that inspiration to do it.
Yeah, you don't want to force it.
Like writing music, it just has to, most people anyway, it just has to come. If you try to force it, it sounds that way.
Just ask Tool.
And it's just it's not like an easy subject. What I talk about. It's like, you can't just go and pick different things. You actually got to, start to pull science together and look at what could be factual and sit on things for a while. It's difficult, Yeah, that's about it.
So I saw some, what was it? I don't know. I guess you could call it a conspiracy crouton. Bezos is stepping down. He's flying off into space and stepping down as head CEO of Amazon right before he goes, taking his best friend, his brother, with him on this historic flight. I think he's going to Epstein Island. I think they're going to blow that shit up in the sky, and Bezos is going to disappear.
First thing I thought too. I'm like, they said, fuck all you guys. We're done. We're out of here. We're going to space. We'll be back later. In a tragic, horrible accident, Jeff Bezos and his unknown loser brother have tragically died in a horrible space accident. And it's going to set back space exploration and commercial travel for space decades.
Yep. Sorry, folks. It's going to be another decade. We found another Van Allen radiation belt.
Turns out we're going to need to spend a little bit more time on the safety of space travel. Because it's killing people, man. Destroying space stations, destroying international relationships, destroying billionaire moguls. Something needs to be done to stop this space.
Then they'll set up a Bezos fund for safe, space travel.
Oh, yeah. You see people on corners collecting money. Care to donate to the
donate
Bezos fund?
$1 with your Amazon purchase.
Yeah. There'll be legislation put into effect for everybody's taxes to be donated. A special federal grant made to the Bezos fund. Sure.
The seatbelts in space.
Click it or ticket.
All these new laws and rules will come out after this first flight.
Yep. All the license plate registration requirements for your space shuttles. All that good stuff.
Can't go over 50,000 kilometers an hour.
Your windows can only be tinted this dark. Yeah. They'll have legislation for all kinds of silly horseshit.
Space airbags.
They're female astronauts.
Here's a quote.
Lucas. They're female astronauts. You
Here's a quote.
Derogatory terms. Jesus. Sorry, ladies.
I'm interested in space because I'm passionate about it, Bezos said, who also made a cameo in 2016's Star Trek Beyond. Because it's all real. It's not anybody acting or anything like that. It's real. Oh, my God. I've been studying and thinking about it since I was a 5-year-old boy. But that is not why I'm pursuing this work. I'm pursuing this work because I believe if we don't, we will eventually end up with a civilization of stasis, which I find very demoralizing. Man, thank you, Jeff. That was very inspirational.
I hate it when entropy just stops, when change just stops, and all of a sudden things stop progressing or regressing, and everything just becomes and solidifies and no longer changes and just becomes static in a civilization.
Steady state. We're back to steady
stasis.
fucking state.
Right.
Oh my God.
It's so scary, but it might do it. It might do it, so I got to go to space because I don't want to stop.
It's got electrolytes.
If I don't go to space, everything will stop. A civilization of stasis if I don't go to space. So I need billions of dollars. Here to donate your schmeckles, please.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? On just a made-up story that everybody, well, not everybody, but most of the people buy it. It's, I don't know, it's genius. I'll give them credit. I bought it for a long time, this whole space thing. I mean, if we went back 150 years and told people this stuff, we would be ridiculed like flat earthers are ridiculed today.
So all these billionaires decided they wanted to go to space. So they put together their little tiny operations and they built big phallic rockets. And they all obviously had, never mind, I'll stop.
We are slowly rolling up on this break here.
We definitely have gotten to another one, sir.
First hour went by pretty quick.
It's kind of good to rummage around in the crouton container. I don't mind. Can get in there when we get back again.
Sure. We got a salad bar stuff to get into.
Have you guys seen anything about Billy and Melinda lately? Like, it was the hot topic there for about a week.
I mean, we were talking about the Gates toilet. Does that count?
Oh, no, but I mean, I was getting hit with like 3 different articles a day by Bill's doing this and Melinda said this and blah, 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 blah. And now it's just like gone. They turned it off.
Whatever they were trying to wag the dog about happened and passed over, and you missed it because you were paying attention to the Bill Linda catastrophe. So,
yeah, great movie.
Just rewatched that. Yeah.
First time I ever saw that. I watched it twice.
Yes, nice. Wag the dog. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out.
They're pretty much telling you exactly how it's done.
Exactly.
And this was before propaganda was even legal. You got to remember that. Now, this kind of stuff, they don't get in trouble for. It's legal.
Yeah, they wouldn't have to sneak some guy in the back gate of the White House. He'll just come through the front door, greeted with.
They'll hire you on the internet.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
You can be a crisis actor for blah 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 blah. Come on down. They couldn't do that back in the day. Smith-Mundt Act wouldn't allow it. Now, yeah, like when the one girl is in there, she's like, "Well, who? My what agent?" Blah, blah, blah. He's like, "Yeah, you can't ever talk about this." That's what the guy's telling her. You know, she's doing like a fake story, fake news story, but she's an actress, and she's like, "Well, my agent was, yeah, you can't tell your agent."
It's go on my resume, right?
Yeah. It's like, no. It's like, well, what do I do if I say anything? And he just bluntly says it. The government will come to your house and kill you and your family. And that's all he says. It didn't look like a threat, you know? He just flat out said it. Yeah, you tell anybody, the government will come to your house and kill you and your family. Period. Have a nice day.
Full stop. Places.
Yep.
Lights. Quiet on the set.
I need a calico kitten here, please.
Roll sound. Roll camera. Action.
Crazy. Telling you right to our faces.
And if you go look for the movie Wag the Dog, it's currently streaming on one of the services. I can't remember which one, and I don't get paid by them anyway. So I tell you, there you'll find it. It's out there, easy to see.
You know,
hey, break music.
Wait comes.
Yeah, Kuwait for sure. We'll get back into that on the other side of the break. This concludes hour number 1 of the Ironworks right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. Josh, Walt, Zach, Lucas, hanging out with you this morning. I'll win this battle.
Truth Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like Beyond the Veil with Chris and Cherie Geo, X Squared with Brooks Agnew, Paranormal Portal with Brent Thomas, Jaronism Raw with Jaron and Missa, Fearless with Frank Castle, Strange World with Mark Sargent, The Eye of Ra with Ra Castaldo, The Infinite Fringe with Billy Ray, Ironworks with Josh Corey, The Kev Baker Show, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7117 or call into your favorite show toll free at 833-TFR Live. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear on the mainstream media. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
Big international sting operation. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. The FBI and law enforcement agencies in several countries report hundreds of arrests have been made in a global sting operation. The FBI seeded criminal elements in as many as 100 countries with hundreds of cell phones that included the Anam app that promised to provide users with secure private communications. In reality, law enforcement was able to see millions of messages in real time. The FBI says tons of drugs and $148 million in cash have been seized. Police in Sweden say the app allowed them to prevent 10 murders. An FBI task force has been able to steal back millions of dollars in bitcoins paid to ransomware hackers that crippled the Colonial Pipeline.
We turned the tables on DarkSide by going after the entire ecosystem that fuels ransomware and digital extortion attacks, including criminal proceeds in the form of digital currency.
Assistant Attorney General Lisa Monaco urging corporate leaders to harden their cyber defenses. A report in the Wall Street Journal says a government study backed the lab leak theory for the origin of the coronavirus more than a year ago.
The journal, citing sources inside the government, says the study was prepared in May 2020 by the Lawrence Livermore National Lab in California that concluded that the hypothesis claiming the virus leaked from a Chinese lab in Wuhan is in fact plausible and deserves further investigation.
Fox's Kevin Corke. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in congressional testimony yesterday wouldn't say what actions might be taken against China.
But I think I can say with confidence that there is going to be an increasing international demand that countries, including China, meet their responsibilities when it comes to providing information.
China has repeatedly denied that COVID-19 leaked from one of its laboratories. America is listening to Fox News.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information
information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The Earth is flat. It's like school, internet.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard.
This is your fucking wake-up call, man.
Wakey, wakey.
Wake up, wake up, wake up!
And welcome back for the second half of the Ironworx on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com, the Iron Realm Media channels, various channels across various platforms. So apparently on one of my Skype updates, it turned off my split screen mode. So I was trying to pull up Space Lettuce and stay in the call, and it wasn't going to let me do both. And I was getting upset. Because I know there was a way I've done it before. And I figured it out.
Oh, good. I figured you'd figure it out. Well, the sun appears to be illuminating the sky here. Should be a good day.
Yeah, it's getting dark quick here. That's for sure. It's pitch black outside now.
So how quick does sunset, like after sunset, does it get dark there, Lucas? Like once the sun goes down and you can't see a sliver of it, how long before it's black, it's dark?
Well, it changes through the seasons, but I don't know. Just changes, so.
Yeah, like here the sun will go down and we still have like an hour and a half of light, daylight, to where you could see easy, no problem. And they say
yeah, I'd say that
like
as well.
5-10 minutes sometimes. Once the sun goes down, it'll be like pitch black. So I guess it all depends on where you are.
And it depends on the season. Like, you know, how far away the sun is away from you. So
yeah, I used to do all that, keep all that kind of data in my head. And then it was driving me crazy. So I was like, yeah, you're going to be whatever you're going to be. And I'm never going to know for sure. So I'm not going to drive myself insane. I'll let Lucas drive himself insane. And then I'll just go get I'll break him out of the asylum when they put him in there. Isn't that our agreement, Lucas? You decided you're going to let yourself go crazy? Figuring it out?
Sorry, you broke up a bit just before. So what did you say?
I was saying, aren't you going to go crazy trying to figure out what the sun is? And then the plan is I'll break you out?
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. I could be there already. It's hard to say. But yeah, look, I don't know. I sort of just wait for information to, you know, things will turn up at the right time, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. But, you know, as much as I search, I also in a position of waiting for the information and good videos and people, other smart people out there that tip me off to things. I mean, it really helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, because sometimes you're looking just for that one little, you know, observation that somebody's made, or this or that, or some kind of law that is obscure that you've never heard of, you know, or some principle. And all of a sudden, once you figure that out, that's how this function works, it like drops all these other things right into place. Like,
well, it's a little bit like that video you shared the other day. You know, when that guy was experimenting with the crystal between the two plates. I mean, that was pretty interesting sort of setup. You know, it's it's nothing may come of it, or something may come of it, but it was still worth trying, you know.
Yeah, that was pretty mind-blowing how the positive and negative were both attracting.
Yeah, and that's what I found really interesting about it. I'm like, boom, as soon as I seen that, I'm like, well, they're attracting those crystals to both those plates. Doesn't matter if it was positive or negative.
Yeah,
and
just
so
like right.
And that's what I was. And as soon as I seen that, I thought, oh well, you know, that's how, you know, these salts or types of particles are getting attracted, and maybe those salts, you know, are able to switch polarity easy or something. I don't know. There's definitely something to
Could
it.
there be a way, maybe, of us explaining what we're seeing as meteorites, asteroids, that kind of thing? These accumulations that occur.
Yeah,
we
well,
know
that's
they're
what
not
I
coming
said.
from a fucking distant flying conglomeration of rocks. We know this. So there's something in this book I see a little ahead of where I'm at about that. So maybe in there I'll get some old news that might illuminate, you know, what we're talking about. But definitely it just seems like one of those things that has become increasingly in the news. I just saw another story about it recently. They had a big pieces thing fall apart coming down, you know. So
Well, you know,
that maybe that's what happens is these the positive, the negative, they both are causing this accumulation, and that maybe is why you get this type of moldavite rich accumulation that falls in Moldova, and you get this other iron rich accumulation that falls in like Arizona or somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you
well,
get the
what I had
different
thought when I was looking at meteorites and things like that, they all seem to be iron-based. Like they'll have mercury and things like that because mercury is sort of seems to be the necessary, you know, catalyst to actually start the accumulation process. And then you have what I call atmospheric electrolysis. So you basically have high amounts of charge up there, and that's causing that electrolysis, so that the formation. And then from there, you know, what I noticed was that a lot of these meteorites have high iron content, and so that to me sort of indicates that they're, you know, sort of going to get buffeted around by a magnetic field or anything like charges like that and just thrown out, because they're not. Because when you start dealing with some of these planets as metals, what you notice is that they're very non-magnetic, except for Mars, which sort of stands out as an odd one. As in, if you go back to the old alchemy and place the metals with the planets, but for the rest of them, they're actually very non-magnetic, except for the mercury element, which would be the internal part, or the part that's the accumulation. But Mercury is sort of somewhat different too, because of the way it acts in an electric field. It's really strange how it's almost got its own mind. It can actually go through mazes and do some strange things. Yes. So yeah, that's what I was sort of thinking, that they're more akin to the iron, and that's why they get thrown out, because of the magnetics.
My brain's just reeling. Okay. Oh. And so are they just, I don't know, these recurring, like Halley's or Hale-Bopp or whatever, the ones that never crash, then would that be maybe some kind of, so this accumulation is taking place now, and it is somehow able to, like,
stay in the field,
or discharge it, but not fall out of the actual, you know, it's up there causing ruckus. That's why we see it doing the sparky, fiery, lit up, whatever the hell it's doing, but it's not enough ruckus for it to be thrown out of the machine. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. That's how I see it. You know, that it's just it's found a stability depending on what its materials are or whatever it is. The other interesting thing that I came across was that when you have mercury and nitrates together, you can actually grow silver. So, that's what I've been saying, that the moon is silver, and it's the side of it that actually relates to the nitrate side of things, whereas the sun would be relating to the chlorides or the salt side of things. So, there is a bunch of stuff that seems to be, that I'm accumulating this information to, tie it all together, but it just takes a little while,
The pieces are accumulating. Definitely.
And I do get a bit distracted with the mud flood stuff and that, especially that topic we done the other day where we were talking about the magnetos on Globe Busters. That was really cool, like how those windows could be magnetos, same as what's in a microwave oven. I mean, that's brilliant. I mean, John Levi touched on that. Oh, it must have been a couple of years ago. He sort of made that connection, but this guy sort of brought it back into sort of, he done maybe a bit more of an explanation on it, But that's where I think he originally got that information from, John Levi.
Well, just like what we're doing here in this community, everybody looks at it and then puts their mind to it, and then they go digging and find different ideas, different stuff. There's a new channel. I'm trying to go dig it up right now. I'll find it between now and the break that I just found and was digging into it. And it was just recently they were showing some of the fireplace contraptions that are sitting inside the fireplaces and all these old photographs. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around what the hell that would have been. Just thinking about all this electromagnetic stuff. Where are these at? Let me see. I got too much crap in my history. I'll have to dig later. I'll find it though.
Hey, do you guys know anything about that channel called Stuffed Beagle?
Is that who it is?
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him? It's pretty decent. You got to check it out.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, I did talk to Biggs, or John. He's going to be with us on Have No Sphere. So really looking forward to that.
Yep, that's going to be exciting.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, so he was having a chat with Martin Leakey the other day, and I think he's been doing a few rounds with people, but he's got wealth of information, and he's been doing sort of specific stuff on a town called Riley where he grew up, and that's in the Carolinas there, or North Carolina or something. But I think he's in the near where you are, Zach, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it sounds like at least within a couple 100 miles.
Okay.
It's not that bad.
Nah, it's better than like
1,500.
California or something like that, yeah. So I just found an article. This is, oh my goodness. The next telescopes are going to be able to look at planets. Now, not the planets in our solar system, but planets going around other stars to see if they have artificial light on the dark side of the planets, to see if there's civilization there. Yeah.
Sweet. That's smart. That's right. Sure. Because that's how that works.
Cool story, bro.
So that's what they have, is a mobilized civilization that can stay on the opposite side of the planet. How's that work out?
No.
I'm confused.
Just that when it's dark on the side of their planet, it would be all lit up like ours is.
I see. So when you look down on our planet from above, you don't see any signs of civilization until nightfall when everything lights up. I didn't realize that's how it worked. Okay, cool, science. Nice.
I mean, wouldn't you just have to wait for the planet to go between you and its star?
But is that star a star? Because we don't know if our sun's a star. We just read a story about that just the other day. So just because we don't know our sun is a star, maybe they don't know if their sun. Okay, never mind. I'm confused again. I was
Now-
sciencing really well, and then I blew it.
The signal is still being analyzed to ensure it isn't simply an echo of our own civilization.
What?
Typically what they turn out to be.
Huh?
Yeah, we're leaving echoes all over the place. Of our
All
civilization.
over.
And then we can see our echoes somehow. I guess. But yeah, they're saying they can, as long as it's blah, 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 light on this side, light on that side. Oh my goodness. 4.25 light years away. We can't even see these stars with our eyes. You have to have a telescope to see the star. But this is just, there's a bunch of numbers they're throwing up here, blah, blah, blah. But at the very end, they say, okay, so if it were Earth and we were that far away, in order to see the lights on the dark side of our planet, they would have to be 500 times brighter than an LED that we use today. 500 times brighter than our LEDs we use right now. So this is just all nonsense. This is ad lib. And I've noticed a lot of these articles now, they just repeat themselves like 3 or 4 times. It's almost verbatim, word for word.
It's all about the word count, baby. Yeah, you get paid per
paragraph
word.
in the middle, same thing, word for word. They even do the quotes. The same quote.
November 4th, 2011. Bright artificial lights could signal alien planets with extraterrestrial civilizations if only we had a new method of searching for the dark side of these planets. More space fucking lettuce.
Wow.
What?
So they're talking about this.
November 4th, 2011.
Wow. A decade ago.
I just typed in looking for lights on dark side of planets to find the story you're on, and that came up.
Theoretical. It's all theoretical.
Oh,
mumbo jumbo. Wow, a decade later, same exact story.
And that's
so
what
pretty
space
much
lettuce is all
astronomy.
about.
Yeah, astronomy and NASA are the same thing. They just keep kicking the bucket down the road. Or we're gonna find extraterrestrial life. We're gonna find alien life. We just need billions of more dollars so we could build these new telescopes that are going to be able to let us reach further out into the universe and see things more crisp and clear like we've never have before.
They're not even kicking the can down the road. They're showing one video of somebody kicking a can somewhere. And they just keep showing the same video over and over and over. See, this is us kicking the can down the road. See, this is us kicking the can down the road. See, this is us kicking the can down the road.
You can't make this stuff up, folks. Well, someone does, I guess.
They do.
You can't make it up for free. You can, but that'd be dumb.
Well, now with all the new AI writing all the stories, I wonder if that's what it's doing. It's going through old stories and being like, okay,
and
not so many
just
piecing
them together.
No,
Yeah.
I'd say that's how they programmed it. If it is an AI sort of or algorithm doing it, that they would have programmed it with all the old space stories, basically, and it just would generate the same stories or similar ones.
It's like that, or some of those script writing apps or whatever. You just plug in your words and it spits out a script.
Yeah, I just saw some ad for one of those come across my newsfeed this last weekend, I think.
Yeah, I actually did too. We must have talked about something similar on a show or a conversation because it definitely fed me that same recent ad.
So would you consider this the new, get a little bit biblical? Is science the new religion?
Well, if Yeah.
Scientism?
Scientism,
Yeah.
right.
Fucking A, sir.
Yeah.
The idea that as long as you tell it to me and tell me that it's true, then I know it's true because you said it, so I don't have to question it and even think about it anymore. I'll just constantly regurgitate it without anything to back it up, with no physical reality to verify. Say, look, see, this is what I'm talking about. I'll just regurgitate it and take it on pure faith. Faith that what they said is true. And then they have the faith that what they were taught is true. And somewhere at the top is some guy snickering.
And we have these robed
course
figures
it's-
dispensing the truth and the knowledge. They're the go-between between you and that knowledge. You have to have that handed to you because those robed guys are smarter, right?
Of course, it's a new religion. I mean, half the world is put on masks because they got told to. And now they're all sort of lining up to get a shot in the arm because they got told to. Because they got told it's real by some fucking jerk off in a suit, or
You got to follow the science. You can't deny the science.
I think it's funny how
I can
science, but yet science can prove two totally equal and opposite things. If the people who funded the science want it to read this way, it will. And then people on the other side of the aisle, well, they funded it, so they want it to read this way. Well, that scientist will figure out a way. They'll figure out a way to word it so it fits their narrative. Either by leaving out certain facts or embellishing and saying approximately or most likely. There's all these words they like to use. Yep. The bell words. All those bell words. They throw those in there. And the scientist has now used science to tell you how things work. Well, okay, so which one's right? They're saying the exact opposite thing. It's science. So now it's a political thing. It has nothing to do with actual science about, proving cause and effect of our natural world. That's out the window now. That doesn't matter. Now it's, are you a right-winger or a left-winger? Because the left-wingers hired this scientist and the right-wingers hired this scientist. So which one, it's divide and conquer at its finest. It's everywhere. Okay, rant over. Sorry, everybody.
Needed. Very needed, sir.
Yeah, you can rant anytime you want, Zach. That's fine. It works the rest of us up.
But yeah, it's the worldwide religion. I mean, this was talked about in Revelations, right? There would be a one world religion. Well, it's here. Even the people that claim to be in another religion are in
that's
religion.
it. Yeah.
They claim to be this religion, which says the exact opposite in their, history of it all and how it all works and what this place looks like. The thing they claim to believe in is the exact opposite of what they actually believe. And they don't even see it.
Not only that, it's in the start of the book.
Yeah, it's like page 1.
It's just like, okay, this is the start of your book, it gives you the introduction to how, the rest of the story, and it's got nothing to do with scientism.
We're going to remove that. We'll just forget that part. That's the thing that got me the most about religion in general. Because, I had started reading the book when I was younger and this and that. And then they started teaching me about the globe model. And I was like, wait a minute. These are like not the same. Why is one like the exact opposite of the other one? Yeah, it never made any sense to me. And, I was steered down the science path. I'm going to believe in science. And it kind of turns all of the you know, the religious history into a mythology, turns it into, you know, these magical stories of a different place almost. It's not even here anymore. These things aren't happening. That was a totally different something. And they were all playing with sticks in the mud and nobody knew how to do anything. And they did build all these huge giant structures that we can't recreate today, but we're not going to worry about that.
Hello.
Hey, that came up quick. And that will be the end of the third, bringing us to the fourth and final segment of the Ironworks, coming up after these messages. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Hey everyone, it's Chris Gio, founder of Truth Frequency Radio and host of Beyond the Veil. The mainstream media and establishment are running scared right now, and they've prominently featured truthfrequencyradio.com as number 89 on the federal government's hit list, also known as the fake news list, which is essentially a list of sites slated for censorship on Facebook, YouTube, Google, and other social media. Now is the time for you to get involved. Share your favorite TFR shows far and wide on forums and social media. Tell your friends and family about your favorite shows. If you're a business owner, get in touch with us to feature your product or service right here on TFR. And if you haven't done so already, become a TFR supporter now and get unlimited commercial-free downloads in high quality. Visit truthfrequencyradio.com/sign up. Thank you for making TFR the leader in independent and uncensored talk radio. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
Do you want to lose weight but have no idea where to begin? The Fast Start Diet, a 3-day weight loss plan, is the answer. 3 days of nutritionally balanced, calorie-restricted meals delivered right to your door. No shopping, no measuring, and no cooking. Everything is prepared for you and ready to eat at home or on the go. The Fast Start Diet has all the amazing benefits of intermittent fasting without starving. We've helped thousands of people who have struggled to reach their weight loss goals. Isn't it time we helped you? With the Fast Start Diet, you'll lose weight and feel great.
Find us on Amazon or go to faststartdiet.com and use promo code POWER to get $10 off your first box. As a special bonus, we will include our #1 rated Lipo3 appetite suppressant spray free with your order. Whatever your diet plans are, start with us at faststartdiet.com and use promo code POWER.
For 5,000 years, the world was ruled with wooden ships by one man. 242 years ago, a small group of free men crafted a new nation built on liberty and freedom. Global elites have been fighting to destroy this new nation called America ever since. Based on actual events, Charm of Favor tells a true story of how they corrupted the election system. They infiltrated federal agencies and murdered witnesses, judges, and even presidents to keep from being caught. Now, the largest and wealthiest crime syndicate the world has ever known has been drawn out of the shadows. They have killed hundreds of Americans and recently attempted to assassinate half our congressmen. Still, they escape arrest through an almost supernatural charm of favor. Read Charm of Favor and be prepared to open your eyes to what may lie just around the corner. Charm of Favor is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
You're listening to Truth Frequency Radio.
We are TFR.
up pretty high. Our heads are almost in the clouds, and their feet are chained to the ground with their chains of misery. They've got a hold of me. They won't let go of me. Let go of me. They might have gravity on their side, but so.
Hey, welcome back to the fourth and final segment of the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com, and other various sources across the plane.
I was just getting into that. She's got a great voice.
Doesn't she? Sounded a little wonky there on the soundboard. I don't know what the hell that was all about, but
it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
It does.
Every freaking time, though? Come on.
Stop playing it through your tape deck.
Don't go out to the car radio and have it wired out there.
But it sounds so good coming through my speaker on my phone.
Yeah, that is weird. It's one of those gremlins. You have your own personal gremlin for that song.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell. Tried to turn the bass down, make sure it didn't get a little overpowering, as that song tends to do coming through my system sometimes. And then there was none. So, well, shit. All right, let me turn it back up. All right, let me keep turning it back up so it sounds halfway decent. Good thing my knobs go to 11.
You just rock too hard, Josh. That's
something.
But this one goes to 11.
11.
Well, it's louder, isn't it?
Turn it up to 11.
But couldn't you just make 10 louder and then go from one from there and then go?
That's what I've not seen.
No.
I've not seen that one in a hot minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, what's that one guy? I don't even know the name. The movie.
Spinal Tap. This is Spinal Tap.
No. The one who's talking about 7-minute abs. He's like, you know how they have 8-minute abs out there? God, what is that movie?
Down to 7 minutes. I know. What is that? I know it's pretty damn.
Was that
Knocked a
Dirty
minute
Work?
off it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Dirty Work? Was that the guy's neighbor?
No, it was There's Something About Mary. Ben Stiller picks up a hitchhiker. It's the hitchhiker. Yep. And Ben Stiller's like, yeah,
7-minute
it'll be
abs,
great
you
until
boy.
they come out with 6-minute abs. And he's like, he starts going into like, I don't know, like his brain. No, not 6 minutes. You can't get nothing done in 6 minutes, man. It's 7-minute abs. 7-Eleven, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You got me? Answer the fucking phone. What? What? Who is it? It's me, and you're fucking fired. Something like that. That was hilarious.
I found it. I'm going to share it.
Yeah, I love this.
Nah, I better not.
Why?
Don't do it well.
You get in trouble for...
happens.
I'll drop the link in chat. Well, it causes issues when we have this going out also on the tuber issues because, you know, they're full of themselves.
Drop it in show prep. I think I can probably figure it. I could just run it through a low filter and just make them sound like the
Okay, well, I dropped the link in the YouTube chat. If you want to grab it there, or I can drop it here.
Here
Since
or
you can
show prep.
do tricks. Yeah.
I'll grab it. Josh.
It's right there in show prep. Live production excitement. And then quiet while we all wait for Josh. Oh, enticing radio. Always here at the realm. So while Josh preps that, there was a story about outer space ice. I'm not really sure what we're talking about here. I wanted to say that and share it with everyone at once. But let me go get it linked up. And whenever you're ready, you just go ahead and play that, Josh.
Yeah.
Is that a comet?
Outer space ice,
Mm-hmm.
fresh and cold.
Space pirates, I'm just saying.
Put some of that in your Coke on a hot day.
I wonder how that would work out in space.
What?
Could it
Space
be
Coke?
hot
Cold?
and cold at the same time?
Depends what side you're on.
One side would be frozen, the other side would be boiling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just got to keep rotating, otherwise you'd completely freeze.
The special
Burn
space, the space cup, it just keeps spinning in your hand, rotating.
Scientists created this exotic outer space ice by freezing a stream of heavy water, D2O, heavy water molecules on a sapphire plate that is cooled to about negative 414 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know, Lucas. In a vacuum chamber.
What's
There you
D?
go.
D2.
Dimethyl psychoticamine? I don't know. Let's go find out. D. Where's D? D. Heavy water. D2O. That's all they give me. Heavy water is D2O. Does anyone know the D in the 2 of O? Heavy water? Anyone? Come on, you sciencey people.
Well, D should be an element.
No, you frozen me.
You would think that. You would think that.
What was it again?
Heavy
What
water.
was it called?
D2O. Not H2O.
Well, that's basically like a
dihydrate.
It's hydrogen, I think, with joined.
Dihydrate.
Where's the H?
It's dyed up. It's 2 of them now, 2 H's. So they just call it a D. When you get 2 H's, you turn it into a D. Come on, man. Don't you remember?
Isn't that what the little number on the bottom is? H2. So you have 2 hydrogen. H2. Wouldn't it be H4O?
It turns into a
different.
D. Come on, man. It's like sigils. Come on, science.
The D is not an element. There is no element D.
Just lay back and take the D, Zach.
Just take that D.
Fuck that D. There's something DS, but that's it. There is no D. A DB. There's no D. There is no D. So how do you make a compound out of something that's not even an element? That's like saying
heavy D.
Well, an element of mercury.
And the boys.
What do you mean an element of mercury? Mercury is a freaking element itself. It can't have an element of mercury. It's an element. You know, it's one of those things.
Yeah, I'm curious. Which element of mercury are they referring to? How many elements of mercury specifically, and which one is this? If it's not
an
mercury.
isotope.
So they manipulated it, so it's not an element anymore.
15 hours straight, so I could use the company. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've been standing in the same spot for 5.5 hours. You know they made it illegal to hitchhike in this state? Really? That must make it really tough. So, what's going on with you? You a salesman or? No, I'm nothing. I'm a salesman. I'm gonna start my own company. Really? You want in? Nah, I'm not. I don't really have any, money or. You heard of this thing, the 8-minute abs? Yeah, sure, 8-minute abs. Yeah, the exercise video. Yeah, well, this is gonna blow that right out of the water. Listen to this. 7-minute abs. Right, yes. Okay, alright. I see where you're going. Think about it. You walk into a video store, you see 8-minute abs sitting there. There's 7-minute abs right beside it. Which one
That's even funnier because it was in a chipmunk voice.
Right? Oh my god.
Step into my office. Why? Because you're fucking fired. Oh, I love that. I said that for so long after I heard that the first time.
Now we'll see if YouTube still hits us. That was more of a hashtag test it experiment than anything.
Right.
We may be back on our backup channel next week, folks, just as a heads up. Or this week. It may be Biggs over here on the Ironworx Media podcast channel.
I forgot about the 7 little chipmunks playing on the branch.
Eating sunflower seeds at my uncle's ranch. You know, the old tune from the sea.
From the sea.
The old children tune from the sea.
That was great. I love it. I'm going to have to go watch that movie now. I haven't seen that in so long. Yeah, I've been enjoying watching older movies. Probably because everything they make now is crap. But with my new eyes, I see new things now. You know, I pay attention a lot more to things in the background. Since I know the story, I know the ending, you know, I know what happens. Now I'm kind of focusing on different parts that I normally wouldn't be focused on. And yeah, you see all kinds of new stuff. It's crazy. A lot of hidden symbology. Like if you know the zodiacs and things like that, I know we'd talked about this before, but you see them everywhere now. Everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Cuts to a new scene, there will be like a picture of something. You know, they'll have a room that really has nothing to do with the story right now. And then it pans over and it shows you, you know, the people, the characters in the story. But that picture, if you know what it said, it's telling you a whole new story. Yeah, it's amazing. It really is how much goes into this movie making, occulted part side of the movie making thing. I mean, they put a lot of time and effort and thought into these frames. Kind of like Kubrick. They said like every you know, shot had another angle to it. Another story was being told. If you had eyes to see.
Yeah, they do. They definitely put in the codings of everything. It is really fascinating. I recommend everyone sort of try and pick out those zodiac or the underpinning sort of little storylines that they're trying to communicate. So yeah, it's good fun. And they can actually teach you a lot because, you know, they are trying to, I don't know why they do it. You know, who knows why they're openly encoding this stuff. But, you know, once you recognize it, you can sort of, you know, you start to learn to recognize it throughout different sort of movies and you can recognize it a lot quicker. So, and, you know, some of these movies are really good to start with, you know, like, you know, especially some of the Chinese stories and things like that they tell. They're really good to actually sort of get you a bit of in that flow of how the zodiac sort of unfolds in the storytelling.
And I've noticed a lot of them will be the blockbusters of those years. It seems like those, it's almost guaranteed to have that occulted story in there. Whereas some of the other movies, you know, it may not be as prevalent. I'm sure it's in every movie. But some of them, it's like very prevalent. It's everywhere. The whole movie. It's almost like the directors or producers, whoever's calling those shots, that's like their main focus is telling this other story almost.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, it's sort of like following the money, isn't it, really? Mm-hmm. So in that sort of sense, it's like, yeah, when you get that big, you can't stray from any narrative that they don't want to be sort of showing in a sense.
I need to start going through the Tarantino movies, the Quentin Tarantino movies. And
Yeah,
start.
I've never really watched his much because I didn't like that sort of gory stuff. You know, I've watched
It's
them.
not as
but
gory as you think it is.
No, it isn't. It's just, yeah, it's just a vibe he puts on.
You never
I
saw
didn't
his
really-
ear get cut off. You thought you did, but you never did. Just saying.
Yeah, that was nasty.
But it wasn't. You didn't see it. It all happened off camera. But you remember it happening on camera, don't you? That's the genius of Tarantino.
Seeing it afterward.
What about Marvin's head? That was reasonably gory.
Right? That was pretty gory, but it was funny as hell.
Did you ever see?
Speaking of people getting so big that they have to change their narrative and switch their stories around, there's a dude we know that might be heading that way soon because this dude jams. I'm going to play a little song this guy sent us and has up on his channel, if that's fine with you, before we all run out of time here.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, Wambulance. Back to the Future movie.
I can't help this. It's about me. Light up justice, bring more disease. I'm not free of mind, and I'm electric peace. Truth on the top, and I'm in no release. It's a pleasure to see you. Washing away. Hard to admit this, hard to change. I know that you take much less than pain. Mother of destruction, shine a light. Power of illumination will take this as you know. I can see through my
This is a share, and you don't need any of these to make.
You've already sold out commercials.
Thanks.
Good stuff. Yes. Loved it, man. That was from our very own LC King. You can find that on his channel on YouTube. Is that correct?
Yeah. I was a bit worried about putting it up. I was just reluctant. I sat on it for a while. I was just like, oh, fuck it. Throw it
Just
up.
do it. It's awesome. Fuck. I closed it too fast because it was playing commercials. I'm trying to get the link back up for everybody. So, but yeah. I heard it before I saw you put it up. So I didn't know if you wanted me to play it already, but when I saw it was up on your channel, I'm like, oh, well, it's going to get played now, dude. You've already released it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if your camera has stalled out, Walt, or if my Skype has stalled out.
I don't know. It could be all of the above when me doing all this multitasking I'm doing.
Yeah, Walt's frozen on my end.
Okay.
You can still hear him all right. Yeah, it was fun. Fun putting the.
I'll just turn that off. Yeah, dude, that's
trying to getting the
those
lyrics
words
and everything together,
Yeah,
and
fucking
yeah, I sort of trying to make it. They've got sort of double meanings through all the words and things like that. So there's a little bit of a finger to the elite at the same time.
It was nicely coded. It was nicely coded. We turned it on them. That was awesome.
Yeah, turn it on them. That's why I'd get the most pleasure out of that, taking their sort of symbols and things that they think that we own them, and and flipping it around and give them the finger at the same time.
I'm struggling getting the link. Give me a second here. I've got too much open. I think that's what's going on with me. I've got about 85 tabs. About 4 of them are videos that probably are playing after I muted them.
Yeah, Tommy, I agree.
But talk amongst yourselves.
Nope.
Sorry.
We're going to wait.
Can I sit here and wait for you a while?
Don't feel the pressure, though.
What are you up to? 79 tabs now? Just slowly whittling them down.
He's a honey badger when it comes to his tabs.
That's
What
it,
the
dude.
shit?
That's it. I think Salamo's head was about to explode when he sat in on the show over here. Shout out, Miss O Salamo. I hadn't even been to his site in a minute to go see what he's doing over there.
Good, nor I. Shout out to Tommy, that flat fellow, for the super chat. That's awesome.
What?
Thank you so much.
I just got back and saw that. Thank you, Tommy.
Much love.
Thanks, Tommy.
So do we get a
real quick,
this
sorry.
weekend?
I want to say Jason Jones did want to remind you, Lucas, how rude it is to make music that people want to hear and then just sit on it and not share it with us. So
well, it's like, I don't know. It's one of those things, especially when you're singing on a track, and yeah,
dude, I get it. Trust me, if anybody does, I do get it. But I hope our encouragement encourages you for sure. You definitely, keep doing this, friend. For sure.
We have a challenge.
Yeah.
Challenge. I like challenge.
Every new LC King song y'all debut, I will leave a super chat challenge throw.
Nice.
All right.
You get to work, baby.
That doesn't matter how good they are. Can he come on and just be like, blah, blah, blah. He's going to start the new 3-second song.
Yeah. Here's a song I threw together during the commercial break.
Yeah, I think, like making music or doing art or whatever it is you're doing and incorporating a little bit of the flat earth with it, it has the potential to be much more shareable as well, just my thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you haven't seen it yet, head over to That Flat Fellows channel and check out the very first show of the Flat Earth game show. The puppets were amazing. When you first said puppets, I was like, puppets, really? And then, dude, I was laughing my ass off. And then they're singing songs. That was, and the magic. That guy doing the magic was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that was nuts.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank y'all. Love y'all.
Thanks, guys.
See
Love
y'all
you.
Friday.
We will see you right back here on Friday morning for more Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. Have yourselves a great rest of your week. Be good. Be well. We love you. Toodles.